We all know skins equals wins, guys, and you can earn your own skins by entering our giveaway. We are giving away $400 of Google Play and iTunes gift cards. All you have to do to win is to leave a comment down below. Now, that comment can say anything you wish, as long as it is positive, constructive, and does not spam the comments. Full T's and C's are down in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. What else is bugging you at the moment, bro?
I'm getting bugged by how, like, just generally toxic this community can be sometimes.
Right, yeah, go on.
Like, some people just don't want others to achieve. Like, when you got 13K, I noticed people were hating on you, and it's like, he's achieving his goal, and he's doing what is good, and then people are just hating on him, and I don't see why people need to do this.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy, like, and funnily enough, I've not actually done my 13K special, so, like, with spoiler alert, guys, spoiler alert. But, like, it's one of those things, like, that, I had no idea it was going to annoy people. Like, I was just focused, like you said, on my goal, and, you know, it kind of started when I hit, like, my first Brawler to 500 trophies. That was my Frank after the Frank and Penny update. 3 days after that, in fact. And, like, I realized for the first time, wow, I've got a Brawler to 500. That's insane. I wonder if I can get any more. And it kind of started, like, that little seed was planted. And I stopped kind of, like, playing with just anyone on live streams. I was being more selective. And I kind of missed that aspect. Hence why I made my mini for my live streams now. Because I want to play with everyone again. But for the longest time, I was playing with just anyone on live stream, and I wasn't taking the game seriously. Once I got brought to 500, I started to be competitive, and I literally got to 10k like 3 weeks ago now, and within I say 2 weeks, it was actually like 8 days because I was sick for like 6 days, and within 8 days I got to 13k. And you know, the funny thing is, people in the community don't realize that I've got lots and lots of friends in many different bands. You know, I don't ever look upon a certain band as being, you know, toxic. I think that there are people within those bands that sometimes contribute towards giving the band a bad name. But I was getting screenshots sent to me of these guys that were like saying, like, you know, auto aim comes out and Ark gets 13k, coincidence, you know?
Yeah, it's like, people don't really think about what would happen if the person who you were dissing saw that.
Yeah,
like,
and unfortunately for me,
I still say that to the face.
Very true. This comes into like another topic really of like cyberbullying and kind of like how easy it is to hide behind a mask, how easy it is to kind of like say things online that you would never say in front of other people. And fortunately, you know, I've dealt with this like throughout most of my career, you know, in various careers that I've done, and like, you know, the thing that you should always do, this is like a lesson for everyone watching, is like, when someone like kind of tries to confront you with all this negativity of something, trying to stop you from achieving your goals, like you say, like, the best thing you can do is achieve your goals, like, power through, like, don't let that negativity kind of bring you down. Just focus on your objective and just power through, because there's nothing more annoying to those people that when you actually do succeed in that thing, right? So
yeah, they do not like it when people do well.
No, exactly. They want to see you fail, and that's kind of part of the reason why. But I absolutely agree. Like, the community has got a lot of toxicity in it, and, you know, mentioning no names, no bands, I think, like I said before, like, that all bands, you know, have some toxicity to some level. Some have more than some others, you know, and that's just life. I guess when you're playing a game like, you know, Supercell titles, it attracts a lot of younger people who are potentially, you know, more immature, and that's kind of where the trolls start, I guess.
And I think just the last topic that I wanted to talk about was how easy it is to truly push trophies, and that we need a trophy nerf.
Right, to be honest, like, when I first started to try to get Brawlers to 700, I was surprised that it's not as difficult as you might think.
I just think it's way too easy. People are getting up way too high, way too fast. And so one nerf we could do to trophies to kind of reel it back in and bring it back to reality is have one season, everyone just gets reset to 500. every single brawler that is above 500 gets reset to 500. And then what they do is they change the trophy system back to where it would be +4 at 500 plus range, and then +3 at 600, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Because when they changed it from 500, above 500 being +4 to it being +5, it's like 600 is the old 500 and 700 is the old 600.
Yeah.
So it's like you're adding another 3,000 trophies to the record potential, and we want to be able to use trophies to show skill. But right now, trophies are really just showing time and effort.
Yeah, and I would somewhat agree with that completely. I think that once you get past 10k, it kind of comes down to how much time you're willing to spend in the game to some extent. Obviously, like, the best players who are like really highly skilled will have a much higher win ratio to loss ratio, which means that they're probably more likely to climb even higher than those that maybe spend the same amount of time and are not quite as good. You know, it makes sense that they would then gain more trophies. But I think that if you're willing to spend a lot of time, then you can actually cancel out a lot of your losses by getting kind of a bigger number of wins.
Yeah, and when you're spending that much time playing the game, some of your wins are just gonna be free wins, where, because the matchmaking, there's not enough players to play against top players every single game.
Exactly.
So you're gonna be playing against like 300s, and you just have, when you're that higher up, you have a more general, more better knowledge of how to win.
Yeah. You see the same faces popping up, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you see those people, you tend to get some idea as to how they're going to play. And you know, for the kind of players that are kind of lower down the lines, you probably can't relate to this. But for the kind of like the higher tier players, you know, we see time and time again the same names, the same faces, and you know, if we know that player pretty well, we can often predict some of the little things that they like to do. Like, I ran into Pika the other day playing Bull, and it was kind of funny because like I'd learned so much about how he plays that I was able to outplay him on many of his plays because I just knew from his interviews like how he plays Bull now. So
people don't like to change their play style.
No, people don't like change.
But I think we do need a little bit of change here for this game.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know, we mentioned like a new game mode, and you know, potentially even we haven't mentioned like new maps for like Brawl Ball. We haven't had any new Brawl Ball maps since that was introduced. But what are your views on like new Brawlers, for example?
We need new Brawlers just for the general skill cap in the game to go up. We need new Brawlers because then that opens up a new wing of area you could play, new meta. So then, right now, generally for each map, there's a best like 3 brawlers that are the best turn on that map. But if we get up to like the 40s and the 50s in brawlers, then there could be more than just one like comp that is meta.
Yeah.
And
that's
you
a
don't
solid
have
point.
to, like, smash and grab right now is like a Poco. You hammer out the Poco, but
so OP right now. So I just did a video on this like yesterday actually. Like, I said to people like, push your Poco now because I get this strong sneaking suspicion that he's gonna get a nerf pretty soon.
He's gonna get hammered.
Yeah.
So we need something to be able to keep up with Poco, because it needs to be like, you know, the game rock paper scissors shoot.
Yeah.
That's what we need to have with brawlers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, it's crazy like to, you know, think back to when like Penny and Frank were introduced. Like, you know, it just goes to show like how much just the introduction of 2 new brawlers can actually really shift the meta.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's like everyone is trying out new ways to use the new brawlers, so it's just changing everything.
Yeah.
Like I know the day after new brawlers, or the day that of new brawlers are released, Showdown. I played my new brawlers up to like 200 in Showdown just for fun.
Yeah.
And Showdown at 0 trophies is entirely the new brawler.
Yeah.
Everyone is just playing that brawler.
It goes back to the days where the OG, like, Brawl Stars players will remember when it was called Shelly Down, because everyone was playing Shelly at one point.
God.
It was insane.
Yes.
But actually, you touched on Showdown. Like, what are your thoughts on teaming in Showdown? Just because you touched on it, because there's a bit of a movement going around on Reddit right now, organized by Kairos, hashtag Stop the Spin, which I'm personally really behind, because like I don't play Showdown. I think my subscribers all know that by now. I do not play Showdown because of this teaming element, and I was just curious to see what your views, because it's fair to say, like at the top, that many of the top players do prefer it to be having that teaming element for various reasons. What's your take on it?
Well, I don't like it. I don't play Showdown that much. I only played on my mini, and teaming in Showdown really just ruins certain maps, like Skull Creek. If you get a really solid like 3 or 4 stack of dynamites, you're gonna win, and it ruins the true Showdown 1v1 10 times element. It's just like, oh, do you get a good team? Because it changes a 1v1 into a 4v1.
Yeah. And with so many new players coming into the community right now, like one thing Kyra said that's so true is, like, this idea of teaming was created by the community. Like, it wasn't something which it was ever endorsed by Supercell. We did it ourselves, and it's like, so therefore we have the ability to undo it. What would you say is the answer to teaming in Showdown? Is it something that Supercell have to do, like to maybe stop the spinning of the joystick mechanism, or like is there something else that we need to do as a community?
I don't think you can really stop the spinning aspect of the joystick, because a lot of people juke by like spinning. Like, I know I do a lot of movement. Like when I play, I'm always moving around. If it was somewhat nerfed, it'd be hard. But I think the only way to stop it is to either you got to take trophies away from Showdown, or you have to I don't know. You have to say Supercell's gonna ban anyone who teams.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, and that's probably why it's taken such a long time to kind of be addressed. The one thing I was thinking a minute ago was maybe you could do it so that like there was like a stop, that if you started at say like 12 o'clock and rotated around back to 12 o'clock, it wouldn't continue past that point. It would stop. But then people would just go to that point and then go back and then go back and back and forth, and that would be like new spinning. So I think it's a community thing that we have to solve as a community and kind of get behind a movement, I guess, of some sort. I'm sure Supercell have racked their brains on this time and time again.
How to stop it.
Yeah, exactly right. So are you behind the Stop the Spin initiative?
Oh, 100%.
Yes,
100%.
Keenan. Yes. Go spread the word.
I will. I'll leave a hashtag Stop the Spin at the end of every single one of my videos.
Fantastic, bro. I'm going to do some videos on that coming soon to the channel, guys, if you're interested. So, guys, we were just chatting. We're about to wrap up here. What would be really cool for this series, we thought, would be to have, like, a quick-fire question round at the end. Leave your thoughts down in the comments about what those questions should be, because we haven't prepared anything today, but we think it would be really cool for the series to have like the same questions for every person that comes on the show. That would be a really cool little touch. We haven't prepared anything right now, so we can't do it right now, but leave a comment down below giving us your thoughts and ideas on what those questions could be. Keenan, like, give us your thoughts on like what are you up to at the moment? I hear you got like a YouTube channel at the moment as well.
Oh yeah, right now I'm trying to start a YouTube channel because I heard that's a good way to, get yourself known out there, and just spending my time trophy pushing. And I do have this new coaching service where I do $5 for 30 minutes or $9 for an hour, and I will teach you whatever you want to know about the game.
I might have to sign up, bro. What? Tell me more. Is it like for specific brawlers, or is it for all the brawlers? Or
so we can do specific brawlers, specific game modes, and specific maps. Anything you want to know. How to counter the meta, how to play a certain brawler in a certain mode, even though that brawler's not playable, you can still do it.
That's so cool, bro, and very out of the box. I've not heard of anyone else doing this. Like, how can people get in touch with you for that?
So you can leave a link down to my Discord in the description, but my
Yeah, I will
Discord
do.
ad is KeenanDude1 #4202, and just DM me and we can talk about it. I'm also up for wavering prices for longer times, whatever you guys want to do.
So people can try to get a bargain from you, can they?
Yeah, you can bargain.
You heard it here, guys. You're allowed to barter. There you go. That's awesome, bro. And that's such a great way to kind of like encourage, like, you know, people that are maybe potentially less skilled in the game to get better, and like to kind of get it from someone, you know, who's directly from the top. That's such a cool thing to offer, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just trying to move this industry forward.
I think that's a positive thing, considering, like, you know, as we were discussing earlier, the community being relatively toxic sometimes. It, you know, it takes someone like yourself to come along and kind of give it a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
So any goals, or like what are you aiming for next season? Like, are you trying to get any particular brawler to top, or are you going to try to knock Casey off the top spot right now?
Next season, I'm going to aim to win this soccer league that's coming out. No one knows about it yet, but it's coming out soon. Our hopes are to win, and I'm also aiming to, you know, stay with Nova and keep going.
That's so cool, bro. That sounds awesome. Well, guys, I will leave links to all those things down in the description below. Keenan, thank you so much for joining me today, man. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. They're real fun.
Anytime, bro. Let's make this a regular thing. Guys, let me know down in the comments as well, like, who do you think should be the next guest on this series to kind of just discuss the state of the game and just everything in general about Brawl Stars that you guys might enjoy. But I think that's going to wrap everything up for today. Thanks again to Keenan for joining us. Until next time, guys, keep calm, game on, but most importantly, keep your brawls epic.